Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Mohan Sharma ji, to join us on stage, along with Honorable Union Minister of Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, Honorable Minister of Electronics and IT, Government of Odisha, Dr. Mukesh Mahaling, Honorable Minister for Higher Education, Government of Odisha, Shri Suryavanshi Suraj, Principal Secretary, Electronics and IT, Government of Odisha, Shri Vishal Dev, Commissioner cum Secretary, Higher Education Department, Shri Arvind Agarwal, Group CEO, GFTN, Shri Swapnendu Mahanti, and MD and CEO of Bajaj Alliance General Insurance, Dr. Tapan Singhel. A very warm welcome to our dignitaries on the dais, I'll request everyone to please settle down at the back, and can we just close the door so that there are no disturbances. Thank you so much. So once again, a very warm welcome to all of you to Bharat Netra, One Vision, One Finance, One Future. An ambitious leap towards making Odisha a globally recognized fintech powerhouse. Ladies and gentlemen, this event today isn't just a ceremony. It is a signal to the world that Odisha is ready to lead with innovation, with digital inclusion, and with a bold new vision for the future of fintech. This event also gives out a loud and clear message as to how a state known for its rich culture and heritage is also scripting a future of intelligent finance, global skilling, digital equity, and inclusive innovation. On that note, could I request Shri Vishal Kumar Dev, Principal Secretary, Electronics and IT, Government of Odisha, and IIT and IM alumnus, and the key architect behind Odisha government's fintech vision, who has tirelessly steered this effort to global fruition, to deliver the welcome address.
Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Mohan Charan Majiji, Honorable Union Minister for Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, Health and Family Welfare and Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Mukesh Mahaling ji, Honorable Minister for Higher Education, Odia Language, Literature and Culture, and Sports and Youth Services Department, Shri Suryavanshi Suraj ji, my colleague, Secretary Higher Education, Arvind Agarwal, MD and CEO, Bajaj Alliance, Dr. Tapan Singhel, leaders from the fintech industry who are present here, MPs of Jajpur and Kandhamal, colleagues from various departments of the Government of Odisha, colleagues from Global Finance and Technology Network, from National University of Singapore, ladies and gentlemen. I am absolutely delighted to welcome you all to our beautiful city of Bhubaneswar on the launch of the Integrated Global Finance and Technology Capability Hub, a historic and path-breaking initiative of the Government of Odisha in partnership with National University of Singapore, Global Finance and Technology Network. My friend Swapnendu Mahanti will be giving you details about the program, so I'd not really like to talk about that. What I want to do is to share the vision of the program with you and the background in which this program was launched. Friends, we are taking a leap of faith today with the ambition of putting Bhubaneswar among the top 3 fintech cities in the country. It's a very ambitious and challenging task indeed, I know that, but Odisha has been dealing with challenges and coming out on top for years. Every year we get battered and devastated by cyclones and several other natural calamities, but we come out of it. So we'll do something similar again. What makes me say this with even more confidence and conviction is that Odisha, this program, is in perfect harmony. It's a classic example of perfect harmony between the central government and the state government, something which we informally call a double-engine sarkar. The 2 people responsible here for making this launch possible are both with us today, Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha and Union Minister of Education. Honorable Chief Minister believes that Odisha should be, at the end of the day, that technology should, at the end of the day, contribute to bringing about inclusive development and improving the lives of common people. And electronics and IT sector has been very close to the heart of our Honorable Chief Minister. In fact, right after taking over in June, he had laid the foundation stone of a semiconductor company on the 6th of September last year. I'm happy to share with you that the company will commence trial production in December this year, and it will go into full-fledged production in March next year. Something which has been very fast. Honorable Chief Minister, after taking over, had given us very clear directions that our policy frameworks and the policy should be benchmarked to be better than the best that any state in the country can offer. So comprehensiveness and incentives. And again, friends, happy to share that today our policies, whether it's the industrial policy, the electronics policy, the semiconductor policy, they are not only comprehensive, but they offer the finest and the highest level of incentives that any state can offer. We were given a very clear mandate for doing that. And the result is there for you to see. Within less than 1 year, we've been able to bring out an artificial intelligence policy, the first state in the country to have done so. We have substantially revised our semiconductor policy last month when it was notified. And you're all aware that only last month, the Union Cabinet has approved 2 major semiconductor projects for the state of Odisha, 6M and 3DGS. And our IT policy is getting substantially revised, and the electronics component manufacturing policy is also going to be announced next week. These 2 policies, we are working on independent fintech and GCC policies, which are also likely to be announced very shortly. Talking about Honorable Union Minister for Education, you've all heard him during the fireside chat. He is the one who sowed the seed for this program to be launched, and it is his consistent follow-up on the progress that has resulted in this project coming this far. Friends, what I want to say is that as a government, Odisha works more like a corporate, than a government in quotes. We are fast in decision making and faster in action. And the result is there for all of you to see. Odisha today stands among the top 3 investment destinations as far as manufacturing investments in the country are concerned. We are the biggest producer of minerals and metals in the country. About 35% of India's steel and 60% of India's aluminium is produced right here in Odisha. You can imagine the kind of opportunities that it creates for ancillary and downstream metal industries. We are number 1 on fiscal health index, which was released by Niti Aayog a few months back. We are a revenue surplus state, which very, very few states in the country can claim of, and revenue surplus by a huge margin. So what it means also is that we have the ability to meet and honor our commitments when it comes to giving incentives to the companies. There are several states which might promise you the moon, but when it comes to actually disbursing subsidies and incentives, they may not be able to honor or meet their commitments. We have that ability. Odisha has that ability. We have been a leader in disaster management. In fact, we have taught the rest of the world how disasters can be managed. We are growing at a rate significantly higher than the national average. Our per capita income has been growing consistently, and we've been able to reduce the gap between the national per capita income and the Odisha per capita income, which was about 31% in 2015. That gap has come down to 8%. And growing at this pace, I am very sure that by 2030, before the end of this current decade, our per capita income would be higher than the national per capita income. Ladies and gentlemen, the list goes on and on. There are many things that I can add to that, but due to paucity of time, I would like to summarize by saying a few things. One, Odisha today stands out among the states in the country as a model of good governance. It's a very exciting place to be in today with all these new opportunities that are coming up. And to quote Honorable Prime Minister, when he was here during our flagship investment summit, Utkarsh Odisha, there were 2 things he had said for Odisha. He had said, to quote him, that Eastern India is a growth engine in the country, And Odisha plays a key role in it. And he had said that Purvodaya, the development of East India, will start from Odisha. And the second thing he said is, Yahi samay hai, sahi samay hai. This is the time to invest in Odisha and be there. So with this, I would like to urge all the leaders and representatives of the fintech industry to join hands with us in this exciting journey, which I'm absolutely confident will be a win-win initiative for all of us. Thank you so very much, and welcome to our beautiful city once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shridev, for setting the tone for the evening ahead. We have with us on stage Shri Swapnendu Mahanti, who has been instrumental in shaping the global fintech architecture, Singapore's first chief fintech officer at Monetary Authority of Singapore, and now as the group CEO of GFTN. So I'll request him to address this gathering.
Good evening, and thank you, Diksha, for getting me to speak here. And I'd like to say my sincere gratitude to Honorable CM Sri Mohan Charanji, Honorable Union Minister Mr. Dharmendra Pradhanji, IT Minister Dr. Mukesh Mahalang ji, and Education Minister Sri Surya Bansi ji, and of course my dear friend Secretary Vishal ji and Arvind, Secretary for Education, and of course my new friend Dr. Tapan. We are going to count a lot on him to make this program successful. Namaskar, Jai Jagannath. Well, let me start sharing with you how we started. It all started with my meeting with, as we discussed at the fireside chat with Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhanji's coming to Singapore, and his insistence on that Swapnendu bring the Singapore model to Odisha. And after that, my life changed, and he kept on reminding me. He was not enough. He sent to Singapore at the Singapore FinTech Festival, IT Minister Dr. Mukesh ji and Secretary Sashwat ji from Finance, then Finance Secretary, and Vishal ji, IT Secretary. And they came to Singapore, and after their experience in Singapore, Dr. Mukesh ji told me, the plan must begin now. Swapnendu, kama aram hai jao, let's get it done. Then came Honorable CM to Singapore. Honorable CM, I don't know whether you remember, ଆପଣ ମୋତେ ଗୋଟେ କଥା କହିଥିଲେ, ନିଜ ମାତୃଭୂମି ପାଇଁ କିଛି କର. And that became our moral compass. ସେଇ ୱାର୍ଡରୁ ଆମେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲୁ କାମ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଏଇ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ଟାକୁ ନେଇକି. ନାଇଁ ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ କଥା କହିଲେ, ସେଇ ହୋଲ୍ ସେସନରେ ଗୋଟେ କଥା କହିଲେ, ନିଜ ଜନ୍ମଭୂମି କିଛି କର. So thanks for giving the opportunity to do something for the state. After CM came to Singapore, the most unthinkable thing happened. Our president, His Excellency Mr. Tharman, he came to Odisha. People asked me why he's going to Odisha. And all the effort made by Honorable Union Minister Dharmendra ji and with CM coming to Singapore, he was convinced that he should come to Odisha. And with his coming, we signed the MOU, and exactly after 8 months, we are here today. I think that record, I have not seen in my career that something so quickly could be done. From a MOU to 8 months, and today we are ready to launch this program. This goes to show how good the leadership of CM in making things happen so quickly. Of course, I must say, a lot of things happened behind the scene, and Vishalji, particularly for his clear and practical advice how to get it done. Manasji, very tirelessly, he keeps on working day and night, and we must say a big thank you to him. And of course, supported by Dipankar, they never stopped working. Above all, one person behind the scene, always making things work, is Dr. Mukesh ji. And I'm all good thankful to you for everything you have done for this project. Of course, I want to say thank you to my NUS friends who have come all the way from Singapore to support this program, and my own GFTN team. But almost end to the program, we wanted to launch this education program, and that's where Sri Arvind ji came. and he started his magic. And Honorable Minister Suryavanshi ji came and they told, don't worry, we'll get it done. I think within 1 week time, both minister and secretary got the magic done. And today we could get 375 students ready to be part of the program. Now, Vishalji told me that I should share with you how we are bringing the Singapore model here. Let me give you 4 points, how the Singapore model comes here. You know, Singapore is a small city-state, size of Bhubaneswar and Cuttack together. When I became the Chief FinTech Officer at the Singapore Monetary Authority of Singapore, one thing I understood, Singapore as a country has only one resource, that is people. And for me, that is a key to understand how to make a country successful by investing on talent. How do we go about upgrading our education system in Singapore? And I decided that that model should come to Odisha. To truly build a knowledge economy, we should build talent at a scale. And it's actually a very smart thing to do because you're not spending a lot of money on capital investment, you're just investing on people. And that's the reason why the first thing we did is to work with NUS and set up this unique program to upskill our students. I don't know whether you know about it, this particular program is not designed for engineers or higher education in terms of technical education. It's designed for ordinary graduates from colleges across different districts in Odisha. This is a unique model because nobody tried this model where they think that to get jobs, you should go to an engineering school. We decided to do against it. This program is unique because we are trying to upskill students from different districts of Odisha from normal colleges across the state. And I believe if you get this right, this becomes the template for India to really upskill students across the country. So Odisha is going to play a very critical role in setting an example for India how to upskill people. I want to thank Union Minister Dharmendra ji and CM to give us opportunity to work for this unique pilot. And this is exactly the Singapore model, invest on people. The second part is, you know, having good talent is not enough. We have to tell the story. We have to tell the story. Singapore told the story of FinTech using Singapore FinTech Festival. And today it's the world's largest FinTech festival. And we tell our story once in a year through that whole big event. We are doing exactly the same thing for Odisha. We're going to bring here a unique program called the Black Swan Summit, where we'll bring global leaders to Bhubaneswar. We are hoping to do it in February next year and talk about the Odisha story, the talent in Odisha, what can be done out of here. We'll bring global CEOs, global leaders, have this discussion right in Bhubaneswar. And if we can get that right, we get the Odisha story right. So getting the story right is the second ingredient of Singapore, which are bringing to Odisha. Now, the third element of success. Getting the talent okay, getting the story okay is not enough. As we spoke at the fireside chat, and Dharmendra Bhai Koile, job seeker is not enough. We have to create job creators, entrepreneurs. And Singapore knew this. Singapore is always knows how to do the right thing when it comes to entrepreneurship. We built innovation labs. And that investment in Singapore made Singapore as the third largest fintech hub in the world. And we could get from $0 to $4 billion FDI annually in Singapore in a matter of few years. We will make Odisha a similar strategy. We are going to build the same strategy for Odisha. We are going to build an innovation ecosystem here, which will allow entrepreneurs, investors, academics to all come together. And GFTN is going to partner with Odisha government to set up the innovation center here. With that center, we're going to build the next generation unicorn in this industry out of Odisha. I'm absolutely sure my Odia brothers and sisters will be able to come to the innovation center, build the next unicorn, and create jobs for the state. And I'm an absolutely believer of entrepreneurship. Thank you very much. The last part is, which is about creating the capability center. End of the day, all this we are doing is to create jobs. And Singapore knew it. And Singapore last 10 years was building this global capability center where globally In Asia Pacific, anybody wants to expand in Asia, they open an office in Singapore and they hire the local talent. That becomes the Singapore success story. We are going to do the same for Bhubaneswar. We are going to build a GCC here, which is based on the same principle of getting the right talent, right ecosystem, and Singapore will serve the Asian market. If you take the global fintech market, Asia is going to be 2/3 of the economy, almost $1 trillion opportunity here. If Bhubaneswar can get it right, we can build the centers here. I'm pretty sure, Minister, that we can create thousands of jobs right in Bhubaneswar to serve the global market. With that, we have got the Singapore template to Bhubaneswar to Odisha. And I'm absolutely sure with this opportunity we got to work with the government, we are GFTN going to make one promise. Together, we'll deliver it. And I need all your support. I need the local ecosystem. I need the leadership support. So together, we can make it happen in Odisha, a global center for fintech. And together, we're going to shape the future journey. And I think the tagline, one vision, one finance, and one future is the real meaning of our partnership together. Jai Jagannath. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Shimanti, for your address and also for giving back to your home state through GFTN and by collaborating with the state government to help Odisha emerge as a global fintech innovation hub. May I now request Dr. Tapan Singhel, MD and CEO of Bajaj Alliance General Insurance, the insurance man of India, also well recognized as a thought leader, influencer, and the voice of the industry, to address this gathering.
Thank you. Honorable Chief Minister Odisha, Honorable Union Minister for Education, Honorable Minister of Education, IT for Odisha, Secretaries, Honorable Secretaries of the Government of Odisha, and obviously Mr. Mohanty. My friends from the industry, my friends from Singapore, it's such an honor and pleasure to be standing here to speak to all of you. Today when I speak, I shall have two hats while I speak. One as a citizen of India, and two as a chairman of the industry, general insurance industry, here as I speak. Let me speak about the citizen of India part first. In 2014, I was the chairman of the Indo-German Chambers. India was a partner country for Hanover Fair. Our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, we all went to Germany for the Hanover Fair. And when I was interacting there with the ministers and the business leaders, two things came out very clearly. One, people excited about the demographic dividend of India. And second was the model that they had. And I was thinking that while people are excited about the demographic dividend of India, if the youth of India does not get right job, not placed, this dividend can actually become hugely negative over a period of time. It can become very alarming. And second, what I saw is the skilling system that they had was a dual system of education, where they would be looking at industry and education together. And that would become a huge talent force for the industry. And industries, again, when they would set up even small villages there, would become global industry. I think they had a huge mechanism by which they were putting that on together. And to me, it was a thought process as to how our country would be able to evolve to that kind of scenario to pick it up. Today in the morning when I met Mr. Mohanty for breakfast, and as he spoke, I was filled with an immense sense of pride. Somebody who's thinking, and he spoke right now in terms of the learning that he had from Singapore, the way he's looking at talent, building the story, building things together, and how skilling would play an important role in development of Odisha. I was so very impressed with him. And then when I heard a union minister speak about education, about the way he's looking at education and putting it together, and the way he's looking at creating job creators, more than job seekers, for a country like India, if that we don't get it right, then obviously the demographic dividend can become hugely negative for us, and over time it would not be something which is there. If India has to become a very powerful global force and a very powerful country, job creators have to move at a very hyper speed to get to that speed. And hearing him was amazing. And in the morning also the chance to interact with the Minister, Mr. Mahaling, and his thought process in terms of how do you put it together. To me as a citizen of India, it was an immense moment of pride. And it's felt that yes, right thinking, the way we look at it, it is in safe hands. It is going to make a huge difference to our country. So today's event is not a small event. It is the seed of a thought process of re-looking at skilling in India, re-looking at how do we approach tier 2, tier 3 towns in India, how do we approach colleges and schools which have not been looked into, and how do we build a system in which propel talent to the next level, and that moves on to become entrepreneurs and good talent for the industry to come forward. Is a seed which is getting sown here. It's a very historic moment from a perspective of looking at how these things get done. And if the model works out well, and any success model the way it is, it shall get replicated all across, and that would be a huge boon, for the country as a whole. So to me, as a citizen, it fills me with immense sense of pride. It also fills me with a huge sense of responsibility as a corporate leader, and how do we support and make this successful, from that perspective. So I was talking to understand how many students would be there for this endeavor, and 750 was the answer which was there. And the skilling and the university from Singapore, they are partnering with it, and the courses, the way it is getting designed, and the way it puts into the industry. To my mind, if I look at the financial services, banking and insurance being an important part to it, it looked very exciting. So in fact, I told Mr. Mohanty that we shall put in our entire support industry to see how the talent gets utilized and how does it develop to a very successful venture and makes a huge difference. Because there's always a shortage of talent. I've yet to meet a corporate leader who tells me that they have a surplus talent and they don't require talent. Yet to meet. Even in a country like India, where a population is over 1 billion, and we have so many universities and so much school, but when I speak to any corporate leader, I've yet to meet somebody who says that they have surplus talent. There's always a shortage of talent. There's always a shortage of people who are required to propel it to the next level. Now, if I look at insurance in India, we just have less than 100 insurance companies in India. If I look at globally, if I look at US has close to 6,000 insurance companies. In fact, a country like Brazil has over 1,000 insurance companies, which is there. India has a potential to have a couple of thousand insurance companies into Indian market. One insurance company normally would provide job employment over 25,000 people. So if you talk about 1,000 insurance companies, you're talking of 2.5 crore talent required to run this company. Does it have a potential? It has a potential. With a penetration which is as low as about 4% of the global average would be about 7%, there is a huge potential for expansion. Why is insurance so critical for an economy or for the country? A simple thing like health insurance or trust mode or whatever you look at, about 10 crore Indians go below poverty line every year. It's a Niti Aayog report which was there, because they can't afford the healthcare expenses. Now, if you cover every citizen of India, it has a 1.2 to 1.5% GDP impact. Now, it's a leaking bucket. We may be growing at 6 to 7%. We're actually growing at about 8+% for that. A catastrophic loss, we heard about disaster management, a catastrophic loss happening pushes the economy down by about 2% in the Indian market. If we have fully well covered, it actually pushes our growth to over 9 to 10% as an economic growth which is happening there. Combine that together, a huge amount of talent requirement, couple of crores people's employment requirement, opening up of the government to 100% FDI for insurance, that's on cards. So talent requirement is huge. The number I heard was 750, which was there. I was so confident that the insurance industry would be able to support the initiative to make it a grand success. And as I said, as a citizen of India, I felt immense sense of pride, listening to the initiatives happening. As a professional, as a corporate leader, it's my commitment that we shall work to ensure that this becomes a great success. A historic moment today, and I think we all are blessed to be a part of this, to be part of this place here. And I was super impressed with Odisha. So let me give you a story. 2002-03, we were building up our business in Odisha. We're setting up branches here, Sambalpur and all. And one thing which I used to be very, very impressed even then were the people of Odisha and the love that we got. In fact, I used to come to Bhubaneswar, I used to ensure I would go on a very lean food 2 or 3 days before that, where everybody would invite me for dinner at their home, and I would every day have at least 3 dinners. The love was so much which was there. It was amazing.